go. 20 years of age, Sugden 22, Philpott 3-0, the perfect record at BAMMA Sugden. 13-7-0 Philpott, the experience there, 2 inches of height difference. Can he make it pay, or will the first remain that way? Let's go to Buddy Johnson, our MC, to find the answer.
BAMMA 22, welcome to the new age. This bout is sponsored by Lonsdale and Lonsdale London. We get ready for 3 5-minute rounds in the professional bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a kickboxer standing 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighted at 134.6 pounds. A flawless record of 3 wins, 0 losses, and 0 draws. Representing Sonny's Gym from Nottingham, England, Regis the First Sugden. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, an all-around fighter standing 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 139.4 pounds. A record of 13 wins, 7 losses, and 0 draws. Representing Next Generation Northern Ireland from Ballymena, Northern Ireland, the apprentice, Alan Philpott. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
So Chris, wherever he goes, Sugden brings a big travelling support, but for the first time in many a time, there's more packed in here for the apprentice Philpott.
And you could see the anticipation in the media, in the news. This has been the bout all of the fans have been waiting for, and we're getting it right here in BAMMA 22, Dublin tonight.
Now I know when it's upright, you're impressed with the movement and flamboyance of Sugden.
Without a doubt, and the way that he moves on the balls of his feet, look at the way he raises those heels off, is just, I think, a key factor, because look at the way that the Philpott plants himself looking to try and counter.
I'm glad
Sugden
you said
won't
that,
be there.
Chris. I'm glad you said that, because again, in his corner, Chad Sugden, big K1 superstar now.
One of the very best in the world. I think he's like number 3 in glory. And when you got a guy like that behind you, you're going to have a dynamic stand-up game that will be unparalleled.
Yes, and he's got that confidence of youth. Oh, and a good left hand, right leg from Sugden.
And
Philpott
a nice
blinks, Chris.
Absolutely, that right round kick just chopping down like a lumberjack is Regis Sugden.
Yes, and there's that movement, and that right hand skims the face. Alan's been warned.
Philpott needs to start moving that head a little bit, because Regis is head hunting Malcolm. Nice inside leg kick, but can't throw those single kicks when you got with the fisticuffs and Sugden on the other end of the trigger.
That's right, and remember, we've seen here at BAMMA the spin kicks as well, the jumping knees. This young man upright is very dangerous indeed.
And that's better from Philpott, setting things up off a nice long jab. I like the way he turns his shoulder into that with his lead left. And you can see him motioning as well, an uppercut possibly off the rear with his right. But he's standing in front of Sugden, and I think that may be a mistake, Mal.
Yes, Sugden lighting his toes, and you saw the high round right kick, and then the left hook. He's looking very sharp and very ready here tonight.
And then the way Sugden turns actually off that left hook, he actually moves to the side and then corks into it, and then uncorks that right round kick. He's showing great movement laterally, diagonally.
Oh, nice kick from Philpott in return. Partially blocked by Sugden, but again, a warning for the first as well.
But Regis looks so loose and calm and collected in there.
Well, as I said, that'll be the training camp with the sparring with his brother Chad.
And I think Alan's going to try and stalk him down and cut this movement, try and impose his will. Again, we haven't seen things in the clinch yet, and I think that's going to be a deciding factor if this fight becomes, as we say, cut to the ends of the ring where he won't be able to move so much.
I think that's where Philpott might see his ace card, isn't it, Chris?
I think so, and Philpott being very patient, again, an extremely experienced fighter. He's not going to rush things. He's got 3 rounds to work with. 15 minutes is a long time, Malcolm.
Yes, and as you said, walking his man down, taking center cage. Sugden happy, you feel, though, to counter and wait to lure his man on.
I think he's trying to conceal something that may come in the form of a head kick. He's gone to the legs quite a bit with a right and a left kick. Expect possibly a 2 or 3 punch combination and finishing with a head kick, because I feel that Philpott's hands are just a bit low.
Also, as you see from his body language there, Sugden can spin so well. I've seen the body shots from the spinning kick take a man out.
And he's completely caught Philpott out of position on a number of occasions, a little bit too deep, and that lead leg is starting to get a little bit red on Alan Philpott.
And again, Sugden comes across, just grazes the Philpott face with the right hand. The warning signs are there.
But the apprentice is still in there. He's, I think, doing a better job swapping stances because he can't keep eating the lead leg attack of Regis Sugden.
Do you think there's going to come a time in this round? We've only got 1.5 minutes left where there's the spin that I told you would come. It didn't happen this time, but that's what Sugden's capable of. Do you think there'll come a time in this opening round where Philpott will take it to ground?
He just got clipped with a head kick. That buckled him a little bit, Malk. That was really nice. And that lead head kick is such a devastating strike because you can raise your leg and then snap with that round kick very, very quickly. A lot quicker than a rear round kick to the head.
Delicately bounced this opening round. The balance to it is wonderful. And Philpott, as you said, showing danger again with that high point kick.
Yeah, very technical stuff from these two. And what's really a glorified kickboxing bout in this MMA matchup.
And that's where I would be so interested to see where it goes and who does have ascendancy, because obviously Regis is training his ground game constantly now.
And I like the way, though, the shoulder movement of Sugden is starting to sell some of those movements that might set up a head kick. Look for him to move his shoulders and then snap upstairs. I think it's coming, Malk, but 40 seconds to go.
Yes, and Alan Philpott happy to stand, as you said, right in the pocket in front of him. Yes, he's the flatter foot of the two, but those kicks have shown very dangerous. And again, he brings it up smartly.
Brilliant stuff from Philpott. I think he's loosened up a little bit, and I think he's finding some rhythm. And more importantly, the distance, because as we know, Sugden can be so frustrating to engage on the feet.
But also, he's making a psychological statement as well, Chris.
100%. You know, he said, look, I am the better guy. I have more experience. Sugden does not belong in here with only 3 bouts tonight. Way, looking for that wheel kick.
And again, the movement of Philpott coming into play now. Saw it coming, moved sweetly.
And Philpott returns with one of his own at the end of regulation time here in round 1. Interesting turn of events.
So, Chris, if we look at that opening round, Sugden very fluent at first. We felt Philpott maybe a bit tight, maybe a bit slow and flat-footed, but he changed that, didn't he?
Absolutely. You know, Sugden was chipping away at him. He showed great poise, but as we said, equally composed was the apprentice. And if we take a look at some of the action here, you'll see some of those great techniques coming from both fighters, and that's what I was talking about. The way that Sugden is able to finish with that round kick to the legs and turn the corner on stepping out on that left hook.
And that left leg from Philpott came around the guard and did connect, Chris. This is so beautifully balanced.
And another kick here shown in the replay. You'll see the technique I was referring to with that lead leg. That was by far the best one. But again, that disciplined striking background of a guy like Sugden, always there, always covering.
Yes, he needed to there, you're right, Chris. Set up beautifully here for the second round. And as I said, I really believe keeping it upright, Philpott is making a statement here. So round 2 of potentially 3.
And a touch of gloves. I think we've had a little bit of a feeling out process. I mean, there's been a lot of action so far, a lot of connection from both fighters, but neither really finding a chink in the other's armor. Not a definitive chink.
And as you said, at the moment, a straight kickboxing bout.
More or less. Ooh, there we go. I love that stuff. Going right to the lead leg is Alan Philpott, and I think he's definitely become a little bit more accustomed to the pace that Sugden's trying to set on him.
Yes, and as you said, more loose, more movement. And I love the way as well he keeps center cage.
And improved diversity of footwork already immediately in the opening 30 seconds from the apprentice. Look at that. See, now he's going to try to play punch the kicker. The moment he catches Sugden throw a single kick, he's going to close the distance on him.
Sugden moved out away. Those 2 slick kicks from Philpott. He really is saying to Sugden, I can play this game.
And this is where the veteran guys of a guy like Alan Philpott is going to come into play. And more importantly, factor into getting on target. That's going to be key if this thing goes the distance.
Well, you saw there Philpott initiated, and the left hook from Sugden found the body.
I just love that right there, the way he catches that lead teep and then attacks the rear leg. When he catches that leg of Sugden, he chops away at the back and then destroys the base.
More importantly, though, did you see the way he chose simply not to follow up and let Sugden know, I'm not following this up?
Oh, big kabush from Regis Sugden. That one found home, but Philpott looking for a heel hook. Wow, Philpott got clipped there, but then went right to the submission.
Man, I was just about to say, Chris, that he was making a statement. He dropped Sugden and said, look, I'm playing your game, and then immediately the first comes back.
A crazy turn of events there. But Philpott seems okay. I thought he was hurt worse than he was. I stand corrected. Gotta be wary of the power of both of these men. This is the type of fight that can turn on a dime. And you're seeing that with such a high-level skill set here. They're kind of canceling each other out a bit. Nice check. And Sugden still bouncing, looking very, very fluid still.
And that head movement, it impresses you, Chris.
Yeah, remaining, as I said, very mobile off the center line. And there we go, there was the first clinch up. That was what I was waiting for.
And it was Philpott went to engage. Do you think, as you said, that woke him up, that shot? Three
There we
knees,
go.
and then Philpott takes him down.
That was what I was waiting for. Look how quick Sugden is. I'm just so impressed with his movement. His sprawls, his transitions. I mean, he'll get right back up and immediately start to engage, which just shows a hyper-awareness for MMA.
Oh, when he ducks under the shot from Philpott again and looks to come to the body with that left, you feel that with the body shot to the left, the right to the head, he's going to follow at some stage.
That's a much better guard from the apprentice. He's keeping his hands a little bit higher, which I feel is very important when you're standing in front of Regis Sugden.
And again, we talk about his age at 20 years old, but it's the way he approaches the game, isn't it?
Yeah, and his weight distribution and posture as well is what impresses me so much. It's just always in and out, right where he needs to be. He hasn't taken any really significant strikes.
And as you saw, defensively, such an economy of movement.
Perfect. But Philpott is neither lost in translation and continues to engage him on the feet. Nice check again, look at that. And it was Sugden who was actually looking to come in and hit the offensive, but then immediately left enough weight off his lead leg to check in time.
That's right, superb stuff. And this really is a chess match, this one. As we said, we might have seen more explosive bouts here at BAMMA 22, but this one, you just feel so delicately poised.
Extremely technical, and that's why I love this weight division. Nice inside leg kick. That's a great technique when you got a guy standing southpaw against you, because your right round kick goes right to the inside. That's a better check from Philpott.
Yes, he took the left of the body, checked the kick. But it's so hard to judge this one.
Wow, that was the sort of strength advantage in the clinch that I was thinking about. Look at the way he just shrugged off Sugden and threw him down. But Philpott didn't dive on him.
This is what I was going to say to you, Chris. With that knowledge, he's still staying upright. What do you make of that?
You know, I think Philpott's waiting for his moment. I mean, he looked happy to jump on him when he knew he was going to secure a takedown. What he doesn't want to do is get lulled into going too far. Getting cut like that!
Just like that, Chris, with the right hand.
Wow, and you can see the sweat fly off Philpott's face, but what a chin of iron.
Well, he looked to engage then, though. That caught his attention.
That guy's got a face of granite. That was as hard a strike in this bout thus far, Malcolm.
Now Philpott engages and looks, but Sugden back to his feet again.
And you know, it might be, when you look at Philpott's record, that he wants to avoid a submission. I mean, look at his last bout. One little loss of concentration cost him to the champ Ad Arthur. So, nice, better jab from Philpott. I'm just impressed. He still looks perfectly composed. I mean, he's been clipped hard twice now in this bout.
But you said again, that experience, that's where it comes in. That's when it really counts. We talk about experience, but that's when it's shown to you.
And the conditioning. I mean, to be able to go through something like this, exchange this many blows. I wish we had the fight metrics on this fight. These two have thrown dynamite at each other.
So, Chris, you felt that Philpott was just beginning to get the ascendancy, just beginning maybe to figure Regis out, and then suddenly Sugden came back at him again.
Yeah, but if we look at the highlight here, it was Sugden who found the first hole in his game, dropping him cleanly, and then look at the instincts of Philpott. I mean, he is definitely searching for daylight there. He was struggling to get hold of his leg. Get another angle here. Bang, kaboom. And look how he turns off to the side to try to attack Sugden's leg there.
But we're finding now that Sugden is... Now, this is the one that really impressed me. That is solid. And yet, look at Philpott back to his feet. His eyes are cleared. As I said, we talk about experience. He's really showing us what it means.
And Sugden hit him right on the sweet spot, but Philpott almost bulletproof here in BAMMA. What an incredible event.
Well, I think this is what they meant when they're saying on social media, the step up in class. Let's be honest, in his previous fights, that was a win there for Sugden, that second right hand.
And Philpott winks, both fighters giving each other thumbs up. It's a fight in Dublin.
So third and final round, and it's still so delicately poised. Do the two knockdowns, though, give the edge to Sugden in that second?
I think so, and he's landed the more clean strikes to the leg, and he's checked more of Philpott's strikes to the leg. So, looking at this from a kickboxing bout perspective, I think he's arguably been more effective and more aggressive and controlling in his striking attack.
Sometimes your opponent doesn't see it that way. Does Philpott maybe think he's taking this?
Look, Philpott is making a case for trying to find the opportune moment, but possibly down 2 rounds on the judge's scorecard. I think he's got to go maybe for broke here, Mel.
And again, that head movement of Sugden slips the hook, comes in the teep kick to the face of Philpott.
And just look at the speed and tenacity from Regis Sugden. It's almost like he's conjuring up these ideas in his head and they instantly become reality. I mean, look at the way that Philpott threw that deep to the face. Sugden just completely out of range.
That's what I love. It's just a little movement but takes you away, and that's all you need. Good chopping kick this time from Philpott, though. Again, looking to close the gap, looking to come in, but it's a dangerous game when you've got a counter striker like Regis.
And that was an excellent leg kick, the best one of this fight. But as I said, Philpott forced to try to come up with a plan B here, I think, because he may be getting outstruck.
Yes, it could be just rolling away from him this bout. And again, look at the movement of Sugden. It makes it so frustrating, even for such an experienced campaigner as Philpott.
But Philpott is not flustered. I mean, he's in there throwing bombs. He's moving his head just as good as he started to in round 2. So I like his approach. He's trying to cut down the movement. Nice lead knee.
Yes, Sugden again moving outside. Good knee from Philpott. This is still close, Chris. And again, the inside chopping kick from Philpott. And again, maybe it is simply that about the submissions that he hasn't taken it to ground.
And Philpott showing marked improvement here.
Nice, as you said that immediately, a nice left hand.
And again, chopping across the legs of Sugden is the apprentice. Oh man, the uppercut. He whipped that one in there like a pitcher. Man, that one just skimming the nose of Regis Sugden. But again, it's the evasiveness of Sugden that's perhaps most impressive.
Well, we're into the final 3 minutes, and in many respects, we're not the judges, we're just giving a commentary here. They might be seeing things slightly different. This could still be very, very close.
It's the pressure from Philpott. It's, again, his movement to try to cut down and control Sugden. And he's using some great elements and improved elements in his striking repertoire, but I feel like Sugden's still connected a little bit more decisively.
So let's play devil's advocate, though. Is he playing a dangerous game by this elusive style, hit and run, hit and run?
I think the proof of the pudding thus far is the fact is Sugden has thrown heavy leather, and Philpott's still standing. He's dropped Philpott, and Philpott is still standing. So I don't know if it's a dangerous game, but it may be too little too late.
Yeah, so Philpott, we feel, maybe taking this third round at the moment.
Way going on that left head kick is the apprentice, Alan Philpott.
He's certainly taken it up a gear this round. That's definite, isn't it?
Yeah, and you can see that Sugden's breathing with his mouth open. Doesn't look too gassed, but he's definitely working and showing a little bit less head movement. Philpott's still got enough time to line up the big one, Malcolm.
And I think he needs it. I think he really has to make a statement here in the third round. And as I said, I do believe by the same token that Sugden, he's had the game plan. It's been a dangerous game plan, but this for Philpott could certainly take this third round.
90 seconds left and a key double leg takedown for the apprentice, Alan Philpott. And a very no-nonsense approach versus the playful striking attack of Regis Sugden.
But you talk about the experience. Timing was everything in this round. And at the moment, I feel Philpott has done everything right, timing-wise, in this round.
And pushing the action, avoiding certainly the significant strikes that he was clipped with in the last round. And passing here, this is huge. Right on his back, Regis Sugden in trouble here, Malcolm. But comes out the back door. Philpott just a bit too high on that back take.
Now we're inside the final minute. And again, with this sort of action, Regis avoids it this time, but Philpott is really saying to the judges, it's me this round. These first 2 rounds could be crucial, Chris.
And Regis...
Oh! Booming head kick. Again, look, Philpott just takes it.
And Philpott got clipped right behind the temple with that, but
his expression has not changed.
And Sugden still standing there on the balls with his feet, bouncing up and down, trying to hit the question mark kick there, but finding thin air.
Well, this is poised now because Philpott has had a really good third round. That was the best of that round from Regis, but I think you'll agree, Chris, that overall, this has been Alan Philpott's round in a big way.
It's been a great back and forth bout, and you know, it's one of those bouts where 3 rounds in, you're looking for one fighter to make the bigger statement later in the fight. You're looking for one fighter to start to run away, and this is the kind of fight that I like to see another round.
Well, this is going to be very, very close indeed, Chris.
And looking at some of the action here, we can see that both of these fighters were really standing toe-to-toe in this round, but I'm not sure if it was Alan Philpott that got the better of those exchanges, Malcolm.
Well, as you saw, the team landed from Sugden. I just felt during the course of that third round that Philpott really tried to wind it up. There was the exclamation mark at the beginning and the end of the round from Sugden.
Look at that head kick from Sugden. I mean, a lesser man would have been put away from that.
Philpott calls him on. We're going to go to Buddy Johnson, our MC, to find out who's going to win this. But the fact that Philpott is still there with some of those shots, this would have been 4-0 for Sugden against any other opponent at that level. And I think there's a look of concern on Sugden's face. Philpott looks very confident. I think they both know this could go either way. You could make a case for either man across 3 rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's on a knife edge here in Dublin. A razor-thin decision coming right up from our master of ceremonies, Buddy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 exciting rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards. The winner by split decision in the red corner, The Apprentice,